In the eastern part of South America are two vast, low areas. The basin of the Amazon in the north, and in the southern half of the continent, a sprawling plain that is drained principally by tributaries of the Rio de la Plata. Of these, the greatest is the Paraná. This was the river which early Spaniards hoped would lead them to the gold of Peru. This, or the Rio Paraguay, or the Pilcomayo. Today, within the branches of these three rivers, is located the Republic of Paraguay. Taller than Niagara, the Iguazu Falls form their giant arc just east of the Paraguayan border. This is the splendid sight which greets the 20th century traveler flying from Rio to Asuncion, only a few minutes before he crosses into Paraguay itself. Almost as unchanged in 500 years as the thundering waterfalls are these Maca Indians, members of one of the few aboriginal tribes of Paraguay which have remained unabsorbed. In remote areas in the western part of the country, they continue to lead a simple, primitive life, clinging still to ancient rites and customs. This is charqui, or dried beef. Fresh meat is cut into long, thin strips, then hung out to be cured in the sun. Belts are woven as they were hundreds of years ago. Wilderness, palm and thorn and tangled vine. Then in 1602 came Paraguay's greatest colonizers, the Jesuits. Many were killed by the Indians, but the work of others prospered. By 1768, the Jesuits had been expelled, but only after they had built 32 missions of brick and stone. Thus the new nation was gradually formed. Some missions failed, yet among their desolate ruins, we see still traces of those unique Jesuit colonies where for more than 100 years, Spaniard together with native Indian created a self-contained economy and practiced communal living. Illustrating this thorough fusion of colonizer and native are the people and town of Itagua. Typical of an overwhelming majority of the citizens of Paraguay, these people have in their veins both Spanish blood and that of the Guarani Indian, and they still speak both Spanish and Guarani. In the homes of Itagua, a traditional craft of the early Jesuits is still practiced. This is Paraguayan lace. This Paraguayan lace ranks easily with the best in the world. The Guarani word for this lace is nianduti, which means spiderweb. Yerba mate, or Paraguayan tea. Skilled pruners strip off the tree's small, tender leaves, then roast and dry them over fires in special ovens. When hot water is poured over these mate leaves, the result is an excellent and healthful beverage. On the east bank of the Paraguay River lies Asuncion, capital of Paraguay, and its chief center of population, industry, and culture. And since the river furnishes Paraguay's principal means of transportation to and from the outside world, The docks of Asuncion present a constantly busy scene. Their 1,000-mile voyage from Buenos Aires has taken these passengers as long as a transatlantic crossing from London to New York. In this business section of Asuncion are transacted most of the commercial affairs of Paraguay. Here you will find offices controlling the nation's small but steadily increasing export trade. Here, too, is the principal wholesale and retail market for imports. Scattered through other sections of the city, we find Asuncion's architectural and historical monuments. This is Francisco Solano Lopez, who led Paraguay in her disastrous war of 1865. Today, however, Paraguay's small but efficient army drills not for aggression, but defense. These military cadets are training for the officers' corps. Headquarters for Paraguay's expanding cotton industry is also located in Asuncion. And this particular mill, with modern machinery, sets a high standard for the future industrial development of the entire nation.